everybody's doing well and having a great day. I have more dramatic video footage of airplanes having issues in the skies in both the northern, southern hemispheres, eastern, and western hemispheres. We're going to come back and take a look at that dramatic footage here in just a moment. Makes you kind of wonder if solar maximum has something to do with it. Here in the last 12 hours, we've seen a very rare long duration 7-hour solar flare down here off the southeastern limb of the sun. You can see the large scale event right there, not necessarily Earth directed, but that was 7 hours long. I know it doesn't look like it in this format because it's in fast forward, but that was a 7-hour, very large M-class solar flare just recently coming off the southeastern limb of the sun. So the Earth-facing side of the sun here recently has been loaded with sunspots in active regions, and it just makes you wonder, is it influencing something in the Earth's atmosphere that's causing these airplanes all over the world to malfunction? And we've been watching this phenomenon for about 3 months now. Coming over here to the homepage of the website, today's feature photo was sent in by Darren out of Alberta, Canada. There's the small version. Here's the large version of an incredible display of green auroras. A few hours ago, when we had a small geomagnetic storm, they produced some amazing auroras visible from Alberta, Canada. Checking in on the GOES X-ray flux over here at the Space Weather Prediction Center, you can see that long duration M-class solar flare that we just looked at coming off the southeastern limb of the sun. Look for more activity coming from that region. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. Not quite sure what's going on up here at Soda Butte, if that's some sort of a digital anomaly specific to the seismograph. Never really seen anything quite like that. Looking at earthquake activity around the caldera, small earthquakes, so nothing really major going on at the supervolcano caldera. I want to give you guys an update on a video I did a couple of days ago. This video was sent in by Marilee Rothen. And when I shared this amazing video a couple of days ago, my locations were inaccurate. I had Cape Coral, Florida down as the location of this observation of what looks like a giant triangle, or at least lights attached to something larger that we can't see. This was spotted from the Scottsdale, Arizona area, and that does indeed look like a large structure in the nighttime sky. And you can also see other lights in the middle of the stationary, kind of blinking lights that seem to form a large triangle in the nighttime sky. What an incredible video by Marilee out of Scottsdale, Arizona. I want to take you guys back to Michigan for yet another round of action from the night of August 26th of 2024. Michael out of Andover, Minnesota, couldn't help but notice the clouds literally boiling above Andover during the storms that went through on the night of August 26th, producing these highly photogenic clouds. We saw a wide variety of activity in the skies above Minnesota on the night of August 26th, and this is yet another example of that energy that moved through Minnesota, causing thousands of power outages, in fact, tens of thousands of power outages due to the strong storms that moved through the area and the highly unusual sky activity that we saw from various people from Minnesota. And I have more aviation incidents to share with you guys, and here we go. I have them positioned on Google Earth right here in the United Kingdom. The one we spoke of yesterday over here in Oregon. I have 2 locations to share with you guys from over here in India, and also an event down here in Wellington, New Zealand. We're going to start off down here in New Zealand, over here at odt.co.nz out of New Zealand. Plane makes dramatic landing after engine fire, streamed live on Wellington Flights Live. Just after 4 p.m. this afternoon, NZ5366 traveling from Christchurch to Wellington landed safely after smoke was seen coming from one of the engines. And here's the dramatic video footage out of Wellington, New Zealand. Watch over here on the right-hand side. You can see smoke billowing from the engine. This plane managed to land safely, but you can clearly see there's an issue with that engine over there. Smoke just billowing out of the left engine, and it does it again as it moves forward down the runway. You'll see more smoke come out of the engine, and then the fire trucks come over to make sure there's no fires that get out of hand. There's more smoke yet to come out of that engine right over there on the left-hand side. It's not done yet. See it? There goes more smoke coming out of that engine for some reason, and the reasons are unclear. What happened to that airplane? From what I understand, everybody made it out of the airplane safely, and here comes the fire truck to make sure that no fires got out of hand. This incident occurred less than 24 hours ago down in Wellington, New Zealand. Helicopter being airlifted by M117 chopper crashes in Cardinath, India, and that would be in this location right up here. There were two incidents in India, an airplane and a helicopter. The helicopter event that I just spoke of occurred up there, and then a large airplane, Indigo flight, makes emergency landing minutes after takeoff due to engine failure. And that incident occurred right here. And that's incident number 3. And from what I understand, everyone made it out of that incident safely, which is great news. Another incident earlier today over in Scotland. Light aircraft crashes in Chesterfield. Unfortunately, the pilot did not survive. And that would be in this location right here. Once again, these events were occurring all around the world in the north and southern hemispheres, east and western hemispheres. This airplane landed in an industrial park right there, and here's the flight path of the airplane over at flightradar24.com. You can see the plane took off, and it was flying in some sort of unique pattern, making circles in the sky. And you're watching the last couple of minutes of this airplane's flight before it unfortunately crash lands in the industrial park over here by Sheep Bridge right there. And you can see the speed accelerate and the altitude drop very dramatically as the plane went down right in this area here. So 4 more events. This was number 5 that occurred on the 31st in Oregon. A plane unfortunately landed on an apartment building like complex over here, a row of townhouses. That's where the plane went down yesterday. And unfortunately, there were 3 casualties involved in that airplane incident. So the airplane incidents continue. We've been following this once again now for about 3 months. And this last segment is simply for educational purposes. I get this quite often, as most people have security cameras on their homes, businesses, even apartments. And every once in a while, I'll get one like this where there appears to be some sort of a light kind of bouncing around over there in the sky. Well, that's not a light in the sky. In certain circumstances, when there's an outdoor security camera near an outdoor light, and you can tell there's a bright light over here to the right, there's a piece of silk on the lens of this camera, or at least on the outer housing. This is an outdoor camera. And what happens is that light will illuminate a very small segment of that thin piece of silk that's in front of the camera aperture, causing it to appear to look like something in the sky over there, when in all actuality, that's something on the lens of the camera, and it's a thin piece of silk. I've seen this many times. In fact, I've seen pieces of silk that had 3 or 4 of these bright pockets of light on the piece of silk. You can't see the silk, but you can see what looks like a light in the sky. So those of you that have outdoor security cameras, if you see something like that, maybe take a second look at it. It could be something as simple as a piece of silk on the lens of the camera. Thanks for the photos and videos, guys. Keep them coming. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.